Hello?
Hello, Barry. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you perfectly.
Clearly? Oh, terrific.
Terrific. What would you prefer, to be called for
Bill.
the interview?
Bill, please.
No problem. Okay, we're going to go in 5, 4, 3, 2. Bill, welcome. Tell me, The Exorcist 3. Now, this is a sequel to which film? The first one, the second one?
Oh, the first one. The first one.
The
I had nothing to do with the second one.
Okay.
I washed my hands.
What made you decide to come back and do this film?
Well, I finally got an idea that I felt would not embarrass me. When I was asked to write a sequel back in the first place, after the release of the original, I declined because I didn't have an idea that was classy enough and interesting enough or exciting enough. A failure of inspiration, I guess, and it took me about 10 years before the idea finally occurred to me, probably while taking a shower.
Now, would you, consider the second one not even a good film?
Well, that was possible. At the time, I saw it with a paying audience in Georgetown. I paid my $2 or $3 or whatever it was, and I found it at the time the worst, most embarrassing so-called A movie perhaps ever made. I haven't seen every movie ever made, but of all that I had, it was utterly the worst. Since then, there have been some candidates for the crown. I mean, Exorcist 2 is no longer safe on its perch as king of the worst movies ever made. There's a lot of competition in the years.
I'm sure. Now, in The Exorcist 3, you bring back the priest played by... How does that work?
Big surprise. Not a surprise anymore if anybody's listening back.
Uh-oh.
He's back. I'm not going to say how, but it's done very credibly, very logically. Yeah, you'll like it very classically. You'll like the way it's done. It's very exciting.
You've also got a lot of big actors. I mean, George C. Scott,
yes.
Ed Flanders.
Oh, yes. I'm glad to hear Ed Flanders mentioned, too. I mean, everybody knows that George is a one-of-a-kind, brilliant actor, but Ed Flanders doesn't get the credit that he deserves. I mean, he's an incredible actor, gives a great performance as Father Dyer, the Jesuit, in this.
Now, I found out through your biography that you had actually researched an exorcist that happened with a boy back in 1950-something, was it?
It was 1949,
okay,
when I first heard of it.
And then how did that inspire you to write
that? Imagine hearing about, for the first time in your life, having never heard of possession, hearing the details, so-called details, of an alleged case of demonic possession going on in your neighborhood while you're attending classes at Georgetown University. I mean, it was absolutely startling. And I thought at the time that if one could adduce enough evidence to demonstrate that this was most probably authentic, what a tremendous piece of evidence for our hopes for immortality of the soul, our hopes for everything I was being taught by the Jesuits at Georgetown being an absolute fact. We all want to put our fingers into the wound in the hand of Christ. And that inspired my interest, and I think that's probably at the root of the interest of the readers of the original novel and those who saw the film. That's, I think, basically its appeal. You see that appeal in this film out today. I haven't seen it, but from what I read about the story, Flatliners. I mean,
now
what else could that be?
Right. Now, dealing with The Exorcist 3, what do you find will be the appeal for this film?
Well, this is an exciting supernatural murder mystery, and with a strong beginning, middle, and end. It's a grown-up movie in that it doesn't hammer you over the head with blood and gore and spinning heads and special effects. I think that's all passé now. But hits you over the head with a powerful story that is designed to give you real fright, which is largely through the exercise of your imagination in most cases. And I know that The Exorcist is considered generally frightening. I don't know why quite as frightening as some people think, but this contains a couple of things that I find terrifying. personally. There are a couple of moments when, at least a couple, where you jump out of your chair a little bit.
Now, as a director, you chose to, you insisted, from what I've read, to have it shot in Georgetown.
Oh, sure, absolutely. I mean, so much of it takes place on the Georgetown campus of the university, and where I went to school, and in the environs of Georgetown, and it has no place looks like Georgetown, and certainly no set is going to look like Georgetown. And if you're going to make fear effective and to work for you, you have to create a totally believable atmosphere of real, contemporary life.
Dealing with fear and the way it's been portrayed these days in movies, what's your opinion on the Halloween, Friday the 13th, Freddy Krueger?
Well, I think I've only, of all of those, I've only seen Halloween, so I can't give a fair analysis. But from what I understand, they are overloaded with blood and gore, and forgive me, I find that all not only utterly repellent but boring.
Now, as a director from a writer, I mean, is it any different going from writer to a director?
That's a natural progression, because directing the film is simply an extension of your hands on the typewriter. You direct the film, I do, most screenwriters do, direct their script on paper. Or you hear about directors' touches, directors who are famous for their touch, and Billy Wilder said it is a director's touches, it's a script. If I think of a touch, I put it in the script. That's where you find it. So it's a natural progression if you have, any competence and are willing to talk to people all day long and deal with them.
My final question, because we're about out of time, and in a real short 20 or 30 seconds, what would you tell someone that would make them run out right now and see that film?
I think it will keep you on the edge of your seat, especially if you're mature and are over 12 years of age. And people talk. There's actually dialogue in this film. There's really a beginning, middle, and an end to this movie. And in its way, it's sophisticated. It's for a mature audience.
Well, I appreciate the time, and maybe we'll see an Exorcist 4?
Not if I have anything to do with it.
We'll watch this one and savor it as we did the first.
This is it, right.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Barry.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, give me 2 seconds.
There's another one?
Just one more, San Jose.
Oh, that's right, San Jose.
You really need to hold it down. It's very distracting in here to hear laughing and talking.
Okay, Mr. Blatty?
Yes, sir.
Hi, it's Brian Adams in San Jose.
Hi, Brian. How are you? I hear a little buzz in my earpiece. Do you hear it, Brian?
No, I don't.
Oh, that's good. Okay.
Is that better?
Great.
Are we ready here?
Yes.
I am? Yes.
Okay, great.
I tell you that my father was black. Maybe I wanted to see your face, naked, no guard up, how you really felt. Hoping I would be wrong about something that I knew my entire life. And if I was testing you, I found out, and you failed, white boy.